Welcome to the preview for the race meeting at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. It's 9 races on the card, and it's quite an interesting meeting from the point of view that we've got a lot of lightly raced and improving 3-year-olds. All the horses turned a year older on the 1st of August. It happens, it's a blanket birthday for them all. We all celebrate it in the Southern Hemisphere, so all thoroughbreds now a year older. That said, mentioned a lot of the 3-year-olds are lightly raced. We also have the later maturing types that will be coming on with all their racing. So there's quite a lot of them in the system that still need to run. And as such, throughout the whole race meeting, we'll see a lot of improvement. There has been a little bit rain about, so going will be a little bit sticky in that. So just take that into consideration, where sometimes the older horses can get the better of the youngsters, but we have seen some lightly raced or unraced Futura progeny that have come to the fore, not only limited to him, but he has been a little bit noteworthy as of late. We also have 2 apprentice races, which is great for the Western Cape. We haven't seen apprentice races for quite some time, so that's very exciting, and looking forward to what the future beholds, and just nice for them to get a little bit of experience on a different track, as Hollywoodbets Kenilworth can be quite technical, and from that point of view they'll learn a lot from that. Pace is also a little bit different compared to the rest of the province, so lovely that the riding masters can pass on some wisdom and information to them, and it's going to be great and exciting. So like I mentioned, 9 races on the card. A reminder that this is pre-recorded, so just keep an eye on all the card changes should there be any scratchings or jockey changes closer to the meeting. Let's jump into it. Race 1. It is the Hollywoodbets Kenilworth Welcomes You Maiden Plate over the 1200 meters. And as I mentioned, a lot of first-timers and unraced horses, but we've got a really nice sort in number 3, Sunshine Superman. A little bit of talk on him, of him on course, not all that much betting support, but he ran on quite well despite losing, was a little bit slow out, wasn't really in the race earlier on, but as it went on, the penny started dropping. So he'll be much more on the pace, and as such, I think will really perform. Race number 4, Prince of Egypt, another nice horse, also from the Justin Snaith Yard. Both Sunshine Superman and Prince of Egypt are from the Justin Snaith Yard. Prince of Egypt improving with every one of his runs, and he's run really well on heavy going. So most important to note that. But number 10, Black Eagle, seems to be the standout. The son of Rafif from the Vaughan Marshall Yard. He's at the 3 runs, 2 places, but has been getting better and more sort of stronger and competitive as time's gone on. So he definitely is a standout. As mentioned, there are quite a few horses that will improve. Need to throw in the other Justin Snaith run and number 9, In Motion. He's had 1 run, he's been gelded since, so again, improvement to come, but it's just sort of every step as they go along. So my play in the first, my suggestion would be Swingers with number 3, Sunshine Superman, and 10, Black Eagle. Race 2. It is Happy Women's Day, 9th of August 2025. It's a maiden plate over the 1200 meters. And even though there's Women's Day, we'll celebrate Women's Month because we can. So to all the women out there, I hope you're celebrating yourself and finding your true power and just enjoying being a woman, because it is great. But this race in particular, it's a nice competitive one. But from the point of view that number 10, Pump It Up, I know which one is correct, and I'm just joking about the other one. Pump It Up is correct pronunciation. The son of Danon Patina, great third behind African Memoir on debut. He's a really interesting looking horse. Similar to his mother, is a sister to Pomp and Power, and he looks very, very similar. Same sort of head and colouring. That said, I think that he will enjoy the step up from the 1000 to the 1200. I do think that he's the right horse in the race, and as such, I've suggested a win on number 10, Pump It Up. Not completely race over though. Number 6, Arco, always in the reckoning. Number 5, Day In, Day Out. He's got the blinkers on, a little bit in and out with his form, but when he runs well, he's competed in really strong races. So that would be my suggestion for race 2, is a win on number 10, Pump It Up. Race 3, Race Coast Turf Club, launches 25 August, something to really look forward to. There's a whole bunch of offerings that are coast to coast, which will be both in KZN and the Western Cape. So we look forward to that launch and all that it entails, and just a way to spoil all the members and welcome you with open arms to Race Coast. This race is over 1200 meters, and interesting again, we've got a first timer here, number 1, who is Kalank, daughter of Gimme the Green Light. She's ridden by Craig Zaki. She's out of Scandola, which makes her a sister to Gimmy's Lassie, Calamoreta, and Rockapina. So a speedy type of family, and even though she's a first-timer, keep an eye on her. Eric Sands has stepped out some phenomenal unraced horses lately, and they really are spectacular. They look beautiful. Number 2, Timeline, is a filly that has the pace, doesn't always round off races off well, but be it that it's quite an inexperienced field, she could get away with it. And number 12 is Give Me What I Want, another daughter of Give Me the Green Light from Fastfontein. Good debut that she'll definitely improve on Muzieni rides. There are some other first-timers. Also, just to mention that this is the first leg of the place accumulator. So an interesting field because you do have the unraced, lightly raced against the older hard knocking. So it is the time of the year that the 3-year-olds are strong enough at this point to be able to, especially if they do have the ability to take on the older horses. But it does end up being tricky when the going is a little bit sticky. So this is the first leg of the place accumulator as mentioned, and my numbers are 2 and 12, by 6, 8 and 12, by 1 and 8, by 1, 6, 7, by 4, 8, by 1 and 7. Race 4 is Lucky Fish, Lucky Break maiden plate over the 1200 meters for the fillies and mares. Quite a lightly raced or inexperienced field for the first leg of the pick 6. But it is the type of meeting where you do have to go a little bit wider. As mentioned, there are apprentice races through the pick 6, which sometimes the weights are thrown out by all the claims that really just apprentices claim 4, 2.5, 1.5. If they can claim their full weight, if the horses are maybe carrying a light weight, they can't maybe ride, for example, claiming 4 and 52. So they sometimes then only claim a portion of it. So it makes it a little bit interesting, but like I said, it's lovely to have them in the Western Cape and applying their trade here and learning some extra skills. As mentioned, this race is quite lightly raced. Number 12, South of France, is a standout. She is coming off a slight rest, which if there's been enough good work going into this race, I'm not too sure if she might need it. However, I do feel that she's done enough. She's been over the 1,000 and the 1,200 meters run on, placed in both, which I think is very promising. So for me, she's a bit of a standout. Number 6, Queen Regent. Wishlist got the bit over last time, but she's been very consistent and seems to be getting closer with every one of her runs. So I think that's very promising. La London is number 8, daughter of Legislate. Again, another good debut run. She was a little bit behind Queen Regent, but I think doing enough to improve on. So as mentioned, this is the first leg of the pick 6. So my numbers are 6, 8, 11, 12, by 1, 7, 8, and 10, by 1, 6, 7, by 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8, by 1, 6, 7, by 7 and 9. So a bit of an extensive range, but like I mentioned, there are some horses that will improve and you've got to keep your eye on them. Another horse I threw into this leg was number 11, Homing Pigeon. Daughter of a Warm could improve leaps and bounds. Race 5, Race Coast Apprentice Class 5 over the 1,600 meters. Mentioned it's the first of the apprentice races. There's 2 on the card, so 5 races, 5 and 6. This is over the 1,600 meters, so it's attracted a horse that really impressed us on debut. Number 1, Note to Self. The comment was that he'll need further. He's going a little bit of a trip, but when he won on debut, he was so impressive. He caught everyone's eye on the parade ring. When he went down to the start, he really just looked like a lot of quality and won accordingly. There were positive comments coming from the Snaith camp according to him once he'd won. Also positive comments going into the race. So even though he wasn't fancied on the betting, they thought he might need the run. So very impressive showing on debut. So from that point of view, Trent May, who is riding, claims 1.5. Trent, a very accomplished rider who last season was out for a number of months due to injury, but still performed very well overall. So he will, Note to Self, will carry the 60 kilos with after Trent's claim of 1.5. Then number 8 is the Night Fairy. It was Herman Brown's first winner for quite some time. He'd had a break in his training career, even though he'd trained many winners before, but the Night Fairy was the first winner since his return, so that was very encouraging. He beat Superhero, went start to finish. A little bit of an intense horse. Brevin Plyke's rides, claims 1.5, and at least Brevin, he is stationed in the Western Cape, so will know pace and also have familiarity with the horse, which is a positive thing. More than likely he'll go forward again, and that's where Note to Self thankfully has drawn one, but can't give the Night Fairy too much lead because it is on the winter course, which is a shorter straight, and horses that tend to go to the front and can keep going just tend to roll in, and these other horses sometimes can't get there in time. So that is a little bit of a concern with Note to Self, number 1, but the Night Fairy is a nice enough type of horse. Other horses to consider, number 2, Miss New York. She really enjoys the soft going, so I always keep an eye on her through the winter months. But number 10, Miller Strength. Despite the draw, Varun Jodi rides, and a nice type of horse who seems to be always there and thereabouts. He just keeps on running on top of them, which is encouraging. Other ones to mention, possibly number 4, Turbo 20. You have Hiawatha Goldberg, but for me, I think that an exacta 1, Note to Self, and number 8, the Night Fairy, will get you through race 5. Race 6, perfectly placed Apprentice C Stakes over the 1,000 meters. So nice quick race for them to flash down the straight. Number 1, African Memoirs, the son of Canford Cliffs from the Andre Nel yard. Very nice type horse. Damien Pillay rides, claims the 4. So African Memoir will only carry the 60 kilos, which I think is a lovely galloping weight. Improved with every one of his runs and won a good race over the 1,000 meters last time, beating Night Train. I think it was also, if you look at his first run, was a 4th behind 3 Tigers. Very strong form line. A lot of winners come out of that. Together with his 2nd behind late December last time, his 2nd run, sorry. And then last time in the heavy going, he won. So I think his credentials sort of sign him up for a big type of run here. The other horse to mention is number 6, Escarpment. He's done exceptionally well last time he won, but it was more the fact that he'd sort of improved to win. Brevin Plyke's right. He won on him last time, knows the timing of him, but a horse that's generally through his career been a little bit, had a few soundness issues here and there. Loves the soft going in the yard, has done very well with him. Number 7, In a Timely Manner, the son of Legislate, also needs to be respected here. He won on debut. Yes, he comes down in trip a little bit, coming off a slight rest, but I don't think it's an issue whatsoever. Trent Mayhew rides him. And there are others, like I mentioned. You could possibly make a case for number 2, Poetic Princess. Desmond Low rides, and then you also have number 4, Rattlesnake. Not the easiest ride, but JC Boitis does quite well with sitting balanced on a horse, so hopefully he could do that. Rattlesnake's got a little bit of a difficult mouth and can be a little bit heady, which makes him a tricky ride because he's also got a short length of rein, but he is powerful and big and strong. So I just feel that getting away with swingers here with 1, 2, 6 and 7. Race 7 is Race Coast Incentives, powered by Hollywoodbets Middle Stakes. It's over the 1,100 meters and a really nice collection of horses. The standout is number 4, the US of A. Was a winner last time and the time before that. He's just improved with every one of his runs. It was so lovely to speak to the Winning Connections last time, mentioning how, you know, he's just such a relaxed horse that takes everything in his stride. He was gelded, he had a little bit of a setback, then was gelded, sorry, that was the timeline. But just improving with every one of his runs. And even though he now runs off a 94, he still is improving and a nice type of horse. They've always felt he could line up in some of the features through the coming months, through the summer months. So we'll look to see how he improves, but a nice enough type of horse. And the other one is number 3, Roman Agent. After a rest, changed provinces. He ran a great 3rd behind the US of A. Would have needed the run a little bit, and I thought it was a creditable effort. It really was brilliant. Greg Enion's got a nice What a Winter here, number 2, Arctic Wizard. He has the pace. Another horse who won last time out. So the yard's doing very well. Horses are looking magnificent. So I think he definitely is a worthy horse to chat about and include. The other one is Nordic Quest. She's obviously a mare now against the boys, but that always counts for its benefits. Loves the 1,000 meters. I know it's now 1,100, but not without a reach. She ticks over very well, and I think that you can't leave her out at all. She ran 2nd behind Dean Street after a rest and would have needed that run. So, yeah, very good run indeed from Nordic Quest. Wouldn't surprise me if she won. That's how I think that she'll show up to the race course. I do think number 2, Arctic Wizard, a place on him would get you through this race pretty well. Race 8 is Lucky Fish Winning Streak, class 4 for the fillies and mares over the 1,400 meters. And number 1, Rahaba, gets the benefit of the claim 4. Dezen Low rides. And she ran a great race last time over the 1,400 meters on the winter track behind Swiatek. It was honestly a creditable effort. She sometimes lacks a little bit in the finish, but on that run I thought she could definitely follow up quite well. A little bit of a break in between her runs, not the worst thing because she does do quite well after a little bit of a rest. Number 2, Dream Searcher, interesting. I really thought that she'd need her last run, but she really ran her socks off to win. So coming off that win, but she can definitely run very well once again. Adam Marcus seems to tick them over pretty well in that regard. Then we got the lightly raced 3-year-olds in number 6, Viva La Vida, the daughter of Gimme the Green Light from the Ville Marshall yard. 2 really great runs, hasn't really done much wrong. She won last time out, first run up the maidens. We normally highlight that as tricky, but if they're progressive, they do tend to show up after they've won. Similar comment about number 7, Wishlist. Throughout the meeting, we would have seen where Queen Regent ran, and you'd be able to judge number 7 Wishlist on that. But really nice type of filly who steps up in trip and will definitely enjoy that. Viva La Vida is also stepping up in trip. So very similar comment about both those fillies. The other ones needing to mention number 12, Lady Lookalike. Unfortunate draw, but she's just ultra consistent and has stamina to go a little bit further, which is often beneficial. Number 13, Apricity, a bit of a wide draw. She's just come out the maidens, but she does quite enjoy a hot pace. So interesting to see. Just keep an eye on her. Nice type of race indeed. Cleansy, number 8, also not without a chance. So a little bit wide open, but my suggested play would be Swingers, number 1, Rahaba, and number 7, Wishlist. Race 9, Hollywoodbets Bright Future Open Maiden over the 1400 meters. And a nice way to round off the race meeting. James Crawford has 2 runners that I always like to mention. Number 3, Gallic Force, and number 5, Time Honored. Consistent type of horses, still finding their feet. Their form is a little bit patchy here and there, but they do come and they do run pretty well. Some of them, they both tried the trip being 1400 meters before, so they both can show up. And more than likely, the Futura Park-based trainers will maybe have a little bit of an upper hand. Their horses, their tracks seem to withstand a little bit more rain compared to Milnerton. The other yard that you can mention is Andronell. He's done very well through this winter. They've somehow managed to work through, also have access to the beach, as most trainers do, but with Andronell, it's literally right. They can walk their horses straight to the beach. As I'm mentioning Andronell, number 7, Chance Encounter, really nice type of horse. Ran 3rd behind a timely manner last time behind Saudi Cat, and I think that's for me enough to really stand out here. The other horse to mention, so Chance Encounter is going up in trip. Number 8, Future Free, went up in trip last time to really show the improvement, ran a 5th behind Drickus. He too will improve, but I think that he is just a big immature horse that is still coming to the fore. He's obviously related to 8 on 18, that is the talking horse at the moment, but he needs to also get there. You have these classic type of horses that just need their runs and need the experience to get there. So definitely will be an exciting race from that point of view. I do feel that the play in the last is a win on number 7, Chance Encounter. So nice way to round off the race meeting, and thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Make sure that you also have a look at the trainer interviews, the perfectly placed trainer interviews, so you can get all the information from the various yards throughout the Western Cape and come into the meeting well prepared. So look forward to seeing you at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth.